So if I would be Pereira, I would never accept that fight. Because let's be honest, okay? Khamzat, it would be the challenger. Pereira would have to defend.
You know, I've been always open for that, so I know stylistically this match for me much easier than other guys, you know. So but in striking, I'm honest. I know the guy can knock me out, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone. I know the guy is a good striker, one of the best guy, always hardest punches. But I'm one of the best grappler, best wrestler. He's not that.
Khamzat Chimaev wants to fight Alex Pereira. Who do you think will win, Chimaev or Pereira?
That is interesting. We haven't seen Pereira in there with an elite level wrestler, and many people tried to present Ankalaev that way. Don't forget, a lot of Chimaev's undefeated UFC record took place at 170 pounds.
I think Pereira, man, he will knock your face off.
You know, it's crazy that you mention Alex then, because somebody was talking to me and said, who do you think that is out there that could beat Alex? And I said, you know what? Call me crazy. I said, but Khamzat at 205. Yeah. I think you have the style. Is that something you think about?
Rumors heat up as Khamzat Chimaev targets Alex Pereira, sending fans into a frenzy. While the hype builds for this epic showdown, some MMA pros argue Pereira should first take on Cyril Gane and chase a historic third belt before stepping into Chimaev's path.
When is your next fight?
What is my next fight? Nobody wants to fight, brother. What should we do?
Do you want to fight versus Alex Pereira?
Yeah, everyone knows that, but he don't want to fight.
Khamzat Chimaev's coach says that from their perspective, a fight with Alex Pereira would be the biggest possible matchup in terms of sales and legacy, giving Chimaev the chance to compete for a second title. He adds that Chimaev is not someone who looks for excuses if things go wrong, but believes he would compete with more freedom and less pressure if he moved up in weight.
Not just because I'm a Khamzat's team, but if I would look at the situation from Khamzat's side, you know, Khamzat versus Pereira, it would be the fight that would sell the most, and Khamzat would be fighting for another belt. For Khamzat, it's plus, 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 plus. It's great, you know? And he's moving up to another division, you know, people can question, he can take out probably part of the pressure on his shoulder, you know, but he's not the kind of guy that's gonna come up with excuses in case things don't go his way. But probably he would be fighting even more relaxed if he would move up.
However, Khamzat Chimaev's coach believes that if he were in Alex Pereira's position, he would turn down the matchup. In his view, Pereira has a larger objective in pursuing a third championship, and taking on a high-risk fight against Chimaev would not make sense while chasing that milestone.
This is me having the vision by Khamzat's side if I would be him. So if I would be Pereira, I would never accept that fight. Because let's be honest, okay? Khamzat, it would be the challenger. Pereira would have to defend. But Pereira already have 2 belts, and he have the opportunity now to accomplish something that nobody ever done before in the history of the UFC. Win the 3rd belt in the 3rd division. You know, if I would be Pereira, the same as it's great for Khamzat to try a 2nd belt, for Pereira it's amazing to try the 3rd.
Exactly.
If I would be Pereira, I would say, Khamzat, ciao, I have bigger goal. I go for the 3rd belt.
Exactly.
So, but could that fight happen? Yes, now we come to another, imagine another scenario.
On the other hand, Michael Bisping is fired up by the idea of Alex Pereira chasing a 3rd belt, noting his size and knockout power would trouble nearly anyone. He doubts Cyril Gane could handle a striking battle and says a 3rd title would cement Pereira as one of the most accomplished fighters in UFC history.
And the man is gigantic for 205. He would probably walk around 240 pounds. He could put a bit of muscle on, walk around at 250 and go knock the fuck out of almost everyone at light heavyweight if they can't take him down, right? And what would Ciryl Gane do? Ciryl Gane would stand there and go toe-to-toe. The man's a kickboxer. Send him to Dagestan for 20 or 30 years and forget all about it. He still ain't going to shoot a takedown. And you're going to be jumping around all over the place. Pa, 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 pa. But, you know, he's very light on his feet, you know, and he's very French, and he's got the flair, and he's got the ballet, and he's got the pa, 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 pa. He's got the punch you in the face. I don't know what I'm doing, okay? I've lost the plot. I've been sitting here by myself in this room, losing my goddamn mind, because Alex Pereira is going to fight for a third belt. The only person to ever do it. That will mean he is, by far, the most successful person to ever step foot in the UFC's hallowed octagon. What do you think? Am I crazy?
Michael Bisping and Paul Felder also share thoughts on Tom Aspinall getting bashed by fans online, and both agree that life's not fair in the current situation, insisting that Ciryl Gane deserves the title shot against Alex Pereira. They feel it's wrong for the fighter who committed the foul to be rewarded, acknowledging it's unfortunate for Tom Aspinall, but emphasizing that Gane is the rightful contender.
Comes out and puts that kind of cryptic post out there saying 1, 2, 3, go. I think it's go time. You think it's him and Ciryl Gane?
And again, this isn't right, because it's like the guy that committed to foul is being rewarded. But again, and this is for anyone,
the only one that makes sense.
Life's not fair sometimes. Yeah. It's not a fair world. You know what I mean? You make your own reality. You make your own fortune. You got to get out of bed every day because no one else cares about you. They really don't. And then, like, you know, whatever faction of life it is, no one cares about you, right? The only person that gives you shit about you, not the government, not people at work, no one. The only person that cares about you is you, your wife, your kids. You got your little family unit, and you focus on you guys. So it's for Tom, but I would say that right now Ciryl Gane is the man, because he was fighting for the undisputed belt. He was doing well.
Yeah.
And Alex Pereira versus Ciryl Gane's a bloody good matchup.
It's a great matchup. And, you know, it was going to be Tom and Ciryl in a rematch. And obviously, Tom is still dealing with the eye stuff. And that absolutely sucks. And I think...
Meanwhile, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez also makes it clear that he's ready for Khamzat Chimaev anywhere the fight unfolds. Confident in his grappling defense, he believes he can keep the bout standing if needed, but insists it does not matter where it takes place. In his view, Chimaev relies heavily on one primary strength, while he brings a complete skill set. Hernandez says he wants his opportunity to prove he is championship level, run through the division, and then walk away on his own terms.
You've got all that relentlessness and the ability to potentially neutralize Chimaev in a way that we haven't seen before. Is there anything else that you think just kind of makes you dangerous enough that really should give the champion problems when you do get the chance?
Our grappling defense is really good, so that's one thing, you know what I mean? I think that I could force him to have to stay on his feet. But honestly, with even him, I don't give a where it goes. Grappling, striking, standing up, like, he's got one thing and I got a fucking arsenal. So, I mean, I really don't give a I want my time to prove that I'm the champion. If he's the challenger, whoever the has the belt, I don't give a I'm going to take them out, clear out this division, and you probably never see me again because I'm out.
Dricus du Plessis also confirms his return in April, expressing full confidence in reclaiming his title from Khamzat Chimaev. He explains that he spent time correcting past mistakes and feels fully prepared for his comeback. Du Plessis is eager for a rematch, determined to settle the score and take back his championship.
For me, we needed to fix some things, obviously, and I spend time now doing that. And like I said, I'll be ready for April. I would love to be on that April card, the Miami card. There's no opponent yet, there's no contract yet, we don't have any of that. Whoever, let's go. I'm ready to go again and get back to my belt as soon as possible. Don't really matter who it is. I would of course love for it to be Khamzat and redeem that loss. But you know, for me right now, the next fight is the most important fight of my life. And I will win that fight and I will get my belt back. If he tries anything different, it will be a terrible night. And we all know that, but he did what he had to win that belt. We can't hate on him for that. You know, he did what he needed to do. It's the rules of the game and he did it. So saying that, you know, it's not fair, it is fair. He did what he had to do. Not how I would win my belt or would like to, But that's what he did. And now it's my responsibility to go and fix that, to stop him from doing that again.
DDP also sends a clear warning about a possible rematch with Khamzat Chimaev. He believes wrestling was the key factor last time and suggests that if Chimaev chooses to stand and trade instead, the outcome would be very different. Duplessis accepts that Chimaev did what was necessary to claim the belt, but now he's focused on correcting those mistakes and forcing the fight to unfold on his terms. DDP said, "If he tries anything other than wrestling, it'll be a terrible night for him. He did what he had to do to win the belt, but it's my job to fix it, stop it from happening again, and make him fight my fight." Furthermore, Sean Strickland argues that the middleweight division is effectively stalled with Khamzat Chimaev as champion. He predicts Chimaev would likely neutralize Nasruddin Imavov over 5 rounds with heavy control, then end up sidelined again, leaving the belt inactive for another extended stretch.
So, is there any concern then with the way this division's going? Because you've talked in the past, you're like, dude, I don't really care about the title.
Well, it's hard now. It's hard, dude. It's like Chimaev got the belt. Say he fights Nasruddin after Ramadan. He's probably going to beat Nasruddin. He's probably going to take him down and dry hump him for 25 minutes. In the process, he's going to bring his ovaries. And the next thing you know, Chimaev is going to be on the bench for another year and a half. It's like the middleweight division's just ice, dude. Like, this is what happened when you let the little Chechen in.
Sean Strickland believes he's the only fighter capable of defeating Khamzat Chimaev. He calls it a massive matchup and says he genuinely feels he has the style to beat him. Strickland even suggests that Anthony Fluffy Hernandez may be a stronger pure wrestler than Chimaev, adding his usual unfiltered edge when talking about the division.
I feel like this is one of those fights though where, man, if you win this, I think the storyline is right there for Khamzat. I very much get the sense that Khamzat would like to fight you.
Yeah, no, I mean that'd be a big fight. You know, I think that I think I'm probably the only one that could beat Chimaev. I honestly think Fluffy's a better wrestler than Chimaev. Like, I think pace-wise, style-wise, I think over 5 rounds, Fluffy's probably a better, but then stand-up, I think Chimaev might take him to stand-up decision. So, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird what the UFC did with Chimaev. You brought a guy in that fights once a year who's like Madonna, who probably gets how much money does that dictator give him on the table? Like, the guy doesn't need to fight, dude. He's best friends with a warlord, he doesn't need to fight. Dude gets gifted G-Wagons. So you have somebody who, he's just gonna sit on that belt and wait until they force him to fight. And then, he wanted to fight Nasruddin or something, whatever the guy's name is. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to fight you, my brother." Like, what are you talking about?
Khamzat Chimaev responds to Sean Strickland's claim that he's the only one who can beat him, making it clear he's prepared to prove why he's the top force in the middleweight division.
He said that you're terrible for the division and he's the only guy out there to beat you. What do you say to that?
Well, I should have said this guy always talks on my show. We'll see.
Because you guys trained together and you've choked him out a few times, right?
We did spar about before, but that's why he's so mad.
Well, this guy choked him out as well.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm talking a lot about Sean. I'm not.
Now Sean gonna talk about bad things as well. So.
Okay.
Khalil Roundtree describes Khamzat Chimaev as a bear trap in the octagon, saying he doesn't see anyone in the top 15 capable of matching his intensity and control. Roundtree points out that there's limited tape on Chimaev, but every time he fights, he dominates completely, locking opponents down with no fear and full control. In his view, what Chimaev does to his opponents is one-sided and undeniable, leaving little doubt about his dominance.
Respectfully, I don't see anyone's name in there that shows me that they have a certain intensity and control to deal with the problem of Khamzat. It's crazy. We don't have much tape on him.
Yeah.
But every time we see him go in there and fight, he is just a bear trap on people. Yeah. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just so dominant. It's full control. It's it's no fear. It's full control. It's intensity. And it's he's making these guys just locked up. And so I'm looking at all the names and I'm like, yeah, amazing fighters. Everybody in the top 15. Okay, great fighters. Yeah. But has anybody gone in there and done what he's done to their opponents, right? Where it's just a one-sided shutout, undeniable. No, I don't see it. So right now, like he's at the top, champion. It's deserving. I don't know who can deal with that in the division, but I can't wait to see, who's next to try.
Uriah Faber says no one can beat Khamzat Chimaev except Anthony Hernandez. He points out that Chimaev's strength lies in his mindset, not just his skills, combining elite physical attributes with complete dedication to his game plan, which makes him nearly impossible to overcome.
Does anybody even have any wrestling remotely close to Khamzat Chimaev in his division?
Yeah, I don't think I think it comes down to mentality, not technique with him. Like that guy, like what I see with him is a guy that's got some amazing physical gifts. He's 100% in on his game plan. That's very powerful. Being somebody that's 100% in, that's hard to fight when everybody else is fighting with all these different disciplines and you're going to go in there with one and you're 100% commit and you're a young, durable, like hungry, believes anything, believes he can beat anybody. Like that's hard to beat. I think he will get tested, bro.
I think Anthony Hernandez is the dark horse. That
what about Bo Nickel?
I feel like certain guys
wrestling,
but he still got to get up more, get up there more. But I feel like there's certain guys certain styles that make fights, This one guy, his style doesn't fit yours, Yeah. I believe that Anthony Hernandez will be that guy,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have talked about...
Fluffy, man. That's our boy.
Yeah.
However, Bo Nickel believes Nasruddin Imavov has earned the next fight against Khamzat Chimaev and questions whether Chimaev will still be champion by the time he reaches the top of the division.
Looking at the top of the middleweight, the top 5 right now, who do you think is most deserving to fight him?
Yeah, at this point, Imavov, I would have said RDR, obviously, had he won his last fight, winning, a few in a row like he did coming into the UFC. But, after that, you got to give the nod to Imavov.
And when you do fight for the title, do you think that you'll be fighting Khamzat? Like, will he still be champion?
It's hard to say, I feel like, when you look at historically how often he's been competing and, kind of just tried to get into his mindset a little bit, I don't necessarily know that he'll compete for much longer, or even at middleweight, he might, go up to 205. I've heard that maybe he wants to go back down to 170. So, I'm not counting on it, but it would be a great fight. So I just got to take care of business on my end. He's obviously done that on his end, and I just need to keep improving, getting better, and winning fights.
Colby Covington highlights the difficulty of defeating Khamzat Chimaev, noting that countering his takedowns, landing strikes, and withstanding his relentless pressure demands elite wrestling and defense. He adds that without the ability to threaten submissions or control Chimaev on the ground, opponents will struggle to stop his dominance in the division.
I know if you enter the division, it's also going to be interesting because the champion right now is Khamzat Chimaev, who's also an excellent wrestler. But if I take you out of the equation just for a second, do you see anybody in their top 10 that could beat Khamzat right now?
I mean, you're going to have to be able to stop his takedowns, You're going to have to be able to strike with him and stop his takedowns, get him tired in that department. So I don't know. I don't know if I do see anybody. I can't see the top contenders off my list off the top of my head right now, but obviously the most worthy contender is Nasruddin Imavov. That's the fight that needs to happen, and he needs to see if he can get through that test before we start talking about him being unbeatable. But to beat him, you're gonna have to wrestle into him and defensively have insane sprawls and insane down blocking defense and stop his takedowns and make it a striking fight like Gilbert Burns did, or have such good jiu-jitsu and striking that you can counteract one another. But unless you threaten him with submissions or takedown defense, he's just going to be walking through that division.
Meanwhile, Ben Askren expressed disappointment in Khamzat Chimaev for not taking more risks against Dricus du Plessis. He felt Chimaev played it too safe and didn't do enough to seriously hurt his opponent.
In the middleweight division, someone you and I have spoken about before, Khamzat Chimaev, what do you think it'll take to beat him?
Yeah, he looked great against du Plessis, although I was disappointed he didn't take more chances. He really played it safe, and he could take him down and stay on top of him, but he didn't really try to hurt him too much. So that was kind of disappointing. I thought he looked great. I think he's talking about moving up again, which is weird because he fought 170 not really that long ago. So it's interesting that he's thinking about moving up again. Yeah, he looked great.
Dricus du Plessis' coach also claimed that Khamzat Chimaev fought DDP like a blanket, never giving Dricus any room to fight. He admits they weren't prepared for an opponent who refused to stand and trade, and if they had known, they would have adjusted Dricus' strategy to focus purely on wrestling. The coach says they learned a lot from that fight and warns that in the rematch, Chimaev will face a very different, more aggressive Dricus.
It sounds stupid what I'm going to say now, but we were not prepared, or we've never been prepared to fight a guy who's not willing to fight. Really, he didn't want to fight. If we knew he was going to try to just do that, I would have changed Dricus's base. No punches, no kicks, just flip and wrestle the guy. And Dricus is good enough to do that. But it's an MMA fight, so we've tried. I mean, you guys saw how quickly he shoots. He doesn't want to stand up. Dricus kicked him once and hit him once, and he felt like a flipping truck hit, which he never was in. There's a go for submission position where he never was in, because both those positions you need space. And he never wanted space between him and Dricus. We've learned a hell of a lot. It sounds like, and it looked like, if we knew nothing on the floor. I must be honest, we knew nothing about how to get a blanket off us. But this time around, he's going to get f***ed up.
Khamzat Chimaev's coach, Alan Finfo Nascimento, reveals that becoming a father has had a major impact on him, bringing a new level of maturity. He points to the fight with Robert Whittaker as a turning point, noting that while some saw him as less aggressive or too calm, the change reflected a more focused and composed mindset rather than a loss of hunger.
We could clearly see the biggest change in Khamzat as like a more mature. It was during the fight week with the fight with Robert Whittaker. That was when everybody was like, "Oh, he's not aggressive anymore. He's wearing glasses. He's too calm. Maybe he's not hungry anymore. Maybe he doesn't want it anymore. Maybe he lost the aggression." You know, when people was asking me, my answer was simple, because I was already noticed this since maybe, let's say, 1.5, 2 years before that.
Alan Do Nascimento explains that everything changed for him the year his son was born. Right before the fight with Robert Whittaker, his son needed surgery, and while the situation was under control, outsiders worried. Previously, Khamzat was driven by raw, uncontrollable intensity, but now he's matured, still carrying that ferocious side, yet able to control it. The Whittaker fight showed exactly how that balance plays out in the cage.
That specific year was when everything just switched, because his son born 1 year before, and right before that fight, his son needed to do a surgery. You know, and he said that in the interview. "No, I have to go to Sweden because my son gonna have a surgery there." And I knew that everything was okay with him, but the people that didn't follow that was even worried. You know, and they was asking me, and I was saying, before, he had this animal inside of him that controls him. Now, he's mature enough to still have that monster inside him, but he can control that. He doesn't need to keep unleashing 24/7.
Perfect.
Now he knows exactly when is the moment to unleash this animal. And you guys gonna see, and then he go fight Robert Whittaker, and everybody saw what happened.
That wraps up today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more MMA updates and reactions.